Have you ever felt as if you were forced to participate in sexual activity that you did not want to indulge in? Have you ever been subject to sexual touch that has made you feel uncomfortable? Do you think that you have felt the inability to express yourself in your sexual relationships due to the feeling of a lack of safety? Before we begin, I would just like to present a trigger warning regarding the mention of sexual assault. If you feel uncomfortable, this would be a good time to exit the podcast. This podcast will help you gain a better understanding of signs of sexual abuse and how you can identify them. Hello and welcome. I am a counselor working with Dr. Prerna Kohli, a clinical psychologist and the founder of MindTribe. At MindTribe, we provide affordable counseling, support groups, communities, workshops, and e-learning for mental health. Sexual abuse is usually undesired sexual behavior imposed by one person upon another. Contrary to popular belief, sexual assault may be committed by anyone and not necessarily a stranger. You may not realize it, but you could be subject to abuse within your close interpersonal relationships. Some forms of sexual abuse may be unwanted kissing or touching or undesired rough sexual activity. Others may include being sexually insulted or degraded. Sexual abuse could be experienced in many forms. You may have experienced it in the form of non-consensual sexual activity when you were in a mentally compromised state or were intoxicated. You could also have been subject to sexual touch that made you uncomfortable, which you may have been unable to communicate to the inflictor. Both men and women can be victims or perpetrators of sexual abuse. It is something that can occur in both same-sex and opposite-sex relationships. We all must remember that consent is an important aspect of any relationship. Consent is all about communication, which means that you and your partner must explicitly say yes to each other about any sort of sexual activity that may take place. You must attempt to not be fearful of your partner's reaction or put their needs before yours when making such decisions. It is okay for you to say no when you do not want to indulge in certain kinds of sexual activities. If you have been subjected to suggestive gestures or language, you may have experienced a form of sexual abuse that is not commonly talked about: verbal sexual assault. This is a form of harassment that may not involve physical touch, but still has great emotional consequences on the victim. Inappropriate sexual innuendos or sexual comments about a person's clothing may fall under this category. Shock and denial are common reactions to experiences of sexual assault. You might feel guilt or shame, which may result in you having low self-esteem. You may experience these emotions accompanied by increased arousal in various situations, leading to hypervigilance, paranoia, or trouble while concentrating. Flashbacks and nightmares may also follow, along with frequent mood swings. Feeling detached from others and struggling to maintain close relationships may also be one of your frequent responses. Something to remind yourself is that you as an individual have the full right to decide what you do or do not want to do sexually. Remember that the abuse was in no way your fault and that it is okay to feel scared, angry, or confused. Seeking ways to cope with the overwhelming amount of emotions is a common response adopted by a lot of people, maybe even you. Coping with the consumption of drugs or alcohol may be unhealthy for you. You may consider finding healthier ways to deal with your emotions, such as by talking to someone close to you that you trust. While it may temporarily help you relieve your emotions, speaking with a friend would not be the same as talking to a professionally trained, experienced psychologist who will be able to understand precisely the kind of help you need. Seeking professional help by calling a specialized helpline or attending counseling sessions with an experienced professional could be the way to go for you in your path to recovery. A few other methods of healing you could consider are developing healthy practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and yoga. These practices would assist you in combining body awareness with relaxation and focused movement. I have mentioned a few techniques amongst many which would allow you to regain touch with yourself and your surroundings. Sexual abuse is something that perpetrates our society to a great extent. Be gentle with yourself and remember to show yourself kindness. If your past experiences have given you a feeling of distress, give yourself time to heal and come to terms with everything. Don't be afraid to seek help in order to understand your emotions and how you can deal with them in a healthy manner. This would enable you to learn ways to conquer your fears and manage the abundance of thoughts in your head. Before we end, I would like to take a moment to do a quick grounding exercise with you, which will take less than a minute of your time. Start by relaxing your shoulders and breathing into the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly exhale through your mouth for another 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now repeat this with me 2 more times. Let us repeat the breathing exercise another time. Relax your shoulders and breathing into the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly exhale through your mouth for another 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let us do the breathing exercise the 3rd time. Relax your shoulders and breathing into the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slowly exhale through your mouth for another 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope this was able to relax you. If not, repeat the aforementioned steps until you feel calmer and in control of your body and emotions. Take all the time you need to reconnect with your body and your feelings in this gradual healing journey of yours.